even going to work on the rally? Let's find out. Yeah. We can go and hurry up. Welcome back to another episode of the rally. But I am not sure if we're going to take the cover off in this episode. Are we even going to work on the rally? Let's find out. Well, a quick visit at the powder coating to show you a little bit on how this process is working, and our friends are helping us out. Quickly powder coat all the stuff for the rally so we can go on in this episode to rebuild it. First up, I've got so many parts and boxes coming in the last 2 weeks in the shop that it was insane crazy of all the amount of new stuff and rebuilt stuff that came in for the rally. So in this episode, we're going to probably see all the cool stuff we car guys freak out about. That's rebuilding to make old look factory new or even better. So let's find out what all came in, what's back from the powder coat, and hopefully I have everything in and that are the right parts, because sometimes it's not just like that, and of course we need to adjust some parts. Let's find out if everything is complete. I'll take you with me on figuring all the parts out, what we've got. So let's go to the candy store. That is really starting to look like that everything will be in. I will do some final checks on measurements, but it looks like we have the right bearings, we have the right steering knuckles, we have the right bushings, we have the right end links, we have the right, well, about almost everything that's in. So a couple of things to check, like the ABS. But I know from previous projects I have seen that it works. So the ABS rings in the front, I will just install them. And at the rear there's some things we need to discover yet, but we're getting there. So okay, that is lots of parts, well, laying there, doing nothing. let's go pick some parts and get some like those prepared to look at like new, and put some new stuff on these as well, so it will all look fabulous, same like the Mark III. Okay, so I am off for a new plan. Uh-oh. Since I'm collecting so much parts from everywhere, it's getting closer and closer. I also want to keep going on with the electronics and prepare that we can go and hurry up when we got all the parts back. So now the idea is, let's make a start on getting this RS3 cockpit inside the little Mark II space. Ooh. So the idea is to get this shape as close as possible into over here. But that's going to be a challenge, right? A big challenge as I see it like this. Okay. Maybe I should get the dashboard out of the Mark II and see how far we can go. Because, well, I have no idea how this will all fall into place. This is really deep. It's really far away. So that should give us some possibilities, I guess. If you look how far away this is, and this is the opposite curvature, so we can go forward with this, and then hopefully the edge should come to there. I need to get something in here to see if I can make something out of that. Oh boy, I promised that I should not take the cover off in this episode. Huh. No, plans always change, huh? I have no idea what my plan is for this at the moment. Planning. Well, as I'm doing always, I'm going to try to make a new bracket where the cockpit can sit in and then work from there. And bracket 2 out. La. Cannot do anything with this. Fuck you. No room to play. Fuck you. And damn you. I thought I would be able to have some more room, but that I'm not having. Yeah. What's all in there then? All in the way. Okay. Well, okay then, we are off to the next piece of the cockpit. First up, we're going to make some tests out of cardboard as usual, and then we can wiggle them around, finalize them a bit so we got some nice shapes, and then, well, I hope I can make something out of that. So keep watching what this will be. Okay, attempt 2, you can see what I did wrong when I'm finished. Okay, so here we've got, well, my cardboard. This is fitting damn nice. So, this is kinda, well, getting somewhere. The only thing is, what do we do now? Because it's of course not as easy as you think. This is, well, around and about the shape that we need. Well, I'm trying to get some more ideas on how to get from this big screen to the small opening of the Mark II. It turns out to be a head cracker. I'm getting closer and closer with all these shapes, but still trying to figure out what's the best route on this. Damn you, man, what am I fighting with this? I've got all the ideas, well, some ideas in my head on how I want to do this, but to get that on a drawing board and then made into some pieces, it is really difficult. There's so many shapes that you need to combine, and from one to another, maybe it would be easier to 3D print it, but I find out it's also really hard to get this in a drawing. Then you need a 3D scanner, then you need to do a couple of prototypes to finalize the perfect bit. So yes, of course, in the end, maybe 3D printing would be the nicest options, but I don't have a 3D printer, and as I can see, it still keeps fighting and being a little bit difficult to get from one to the other and then combine them. So hopefully I can make this by hand with the machinery that I have right now. So let's give it a try. And oh yeah, I'm trying this episode with the microphone, but it's still fighting me. I'll keep on trying to improve the sound, but I think I prefer talking to the camera and listening to that way more. And sometimes, yes, the sound is a little bit soft when I turn my head away. Well, that is not correct yet, but on the other hand, this is a shape that we go from a small window to a big window with lots of curves. So the plan is to make a little bit blah 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 like this. Hopefully, if this is in, we should be able to get some view out of the cockpit onto the RS3 displays. So, of course, I did lots of things wrong. I cut it on, I made this curve on the wrong side, I bended it wrong. The engineering game, I guess. Well, I think it's always like this. The first day of engineering is freaking terrible because you forever try things, test things, put things in mind, cut things, and I'm always doing something and it feels that there's no progress at all, and then suddenly the next day everything falls into place. So the aluminium base plate is done. Now I'm off to widen from a small fencer to go to a big fencer. That seems to go working as well. Hopefully I planned it good this time, but that's something else. That's not about engineering, that's the stupid head that needs to, well, pay a little bit more attention sometimes to what I do and not just go with it. The only thing that's left to do. We've got the round shape, this one. Only thing now is the angle from this side of the dashboard to the angle of the RS3 cockpit, on how far the angle needs to be, and then this one needs to be, yeah, in the same angle. Let's try to figure that out. Okay, so now I've cut it off the rear, so that means that we've got some room to play and we can measure out, hopefully, if we can, well, get this position behind the dashboard standing, laying around somehow, some way, and then we can see how far this will go, and then we can measure back which side or which point goes where. Pop, pop. Okay, of course, this is not fitting anymore. I knew that, but I wanted to have some strength at the top. Otherwise, with bending or cutting, it wouldn't work. So now we need to or cut something off or bend it backwards so that we got some playing room. That's not really good. I'm in way more problem than I first measured, I think. Look at this. I'm completely up with the cockpit this way. Now you can see the button over here. So this should be fitting. It's a little bit far away, but I think that's okay. But I think we are way too much downwards with the dashboard beam in the car right now. I completely forgot about that point. I was thinking, well, this should be able to fit, but oh shit. Get the cockpit in, that's something different. Because on the bench we can do it from back. That one is not staying. Okay. But this still enough room. Okay. We can work with this. Yay! Alright. 50. And that's another step in the process of getting this all covered up. And now we can use these edges to make it fit in there or make a bracket to those points. Now the problem will be at the front. We're almost there. So adjusted the drawing again. Now time for another tricky one. From a small window to a big window. Let's see if we can bend this. Try number 2. cockpit really good. There's no strange stuff when it's this way. Man, this is like the curve that it's going outside that really helps to see the display complete. But yes, that is one step. That's everything that laying up on top of each other. That's easy. Now, how can we make this work? That's another challenge, I think. Let's see what we can do on this. I am back with a new one. A little bit smaller, same idea. Okay, this way you can really see what's the plan. You know, the small hole, and then it goes outwards to the bigger cockpit. And this fitment is getting on point. Well, okay, since we're so far along right now, let's go get, well, some blah, 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 blah. Well, not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some cuts here, cuts there, bracket here, bracket there, and then see if we can make this cool, crazy, flowing thing get together in the dash. The only downside, I think, later on, because the cockpit is so big, when you want to take it off, you need to take a dashboard out, but that's a tuner car. So tuner cars are complicated cars. So let's go on, get the dashboard in, and hopefully show you a bit that it's in. Well, YouTubed gamed in the cockpit a little bit, because we're not going to finish that in this episode, because I firstly actually want to fit it in the Rallye to make sure that everything sits. But the fitment is going so good. And the final thing is to make the cockpit with a little bracket for a first test fit, so that it will sit in and we can put it in the Rallye. But as this is going like this, it will all just bolt in, bolt out. Of course, we need to bolt it in from the back because it's way too big to get it out in the front anyways. So let's make a final bracket and let's put it in the Rallye. Well, okay, this is going to be a tricky bracket. I'm going to just make something for aluminium that it will just stay in place so that we can make a first test fit and put it in the car. Of course, later on we can make it all, well, perfect. This children's drawing needs to support that. Okay, I already know this is not the bracket that I'm going to use as end result. Not happy about it, but we can see how far we can go. Well, first little creation. Of course, this point is just a test because it's not connected there. But, well, a cockpit is hanging in there. It's not closing off completely yet. But I want to test fit it. A YouTube fit. as we say. I kinda think this is looking not too bad. Let's try it. In. Yeah, baby, it's going to work. You even can touch the button to reset the day counter. Man, and I think this is looking so damn good. Look at how crazy cool you can read, and you can push the button of the day counter. Damn you, this is going to work, man. And you can read it all, and without even touching the original shape of the dashboard. You can read all the gauges, you can read the rev counter, you can read the kilometer teller. Ah, damn you! Well, I am going to end it with this. I'm going to end it on a high because I am feeling really excited. Well, there are some tricks and tweaks to finalize this, but you know, if it's like this, I know I'm for sure that it's going to work. Fully cockpit in an OEM dashboard, and when we're done, you won't even see that we adjusted the dashboard. So I'm really over the moon with this. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel, and well, go watch our latest episode from where we all started with the rally, because we came a long way and we are closing into the finish. Computer is coming back in next week. Suspension all done and ready to put together. So the coming episodes will be really going into the end result of the rally. So stay tuned, keep watching, and see you in the next episode. Bye.